Do you want to build the snowman? Hey guys, it's JStars360 here with my review of Frozen. See, I'm wearing a white t-shirt. It's hot in here, but coincidentally it works out since it's white and the theme of this movie is freaking snow. So, let's get into the review. Now, this is a film before I get into it though, this is a film that let me just go summarize real quick. Disney and my thoughts on this film. Enjoyed the 90s Disney movies, well, some of them, like Lion King, which I love, Aladdin, which I really enjoy, Hunchback, pretty good. But after that, Disney just really wasn't having that many hits. I mean, I liked Lilo and Stitch, but they really didn't have the hits. But thankfully, we had Pixar for that, so that's okay. But now they've gone down in quality. But now Disney's gone up in quality. We had, for the most part, pretty enjoyable films, except for Tangled, which I thought was on the okay category. And so Frozen came out, and at one end, I was really excited. There were some, because this film could really be something. But on the other end, then I saw some of the trailers, and I was like, ugh. But thankfully, this movie isn't as dumb and cliche as the trailers make it out to be. And thankfully, tons of people saw it. So, what do I think of it? Well, hang on. There's that crack in the wall, which is fucking distracting. There we go. That's better. So, I'll admit I'm mixed on the characters, the story, and even the animation was a little odd, but the songs, but I think there were some really, really good moments in this movie, like freaking unbelievable moments, and I think at the end of the day, that's what makes Frozen a great Disney film. Not as good as Lion King, but one of their better films. And in the end, I think the Disney fanboy in me which is still there, believe it or not. But it won out, and I really had a lot of fun with this film. But it has problems, and which probably will bother me a bit more in repeated viewings, which I wouldn't mind seeing this film again, by the way. But again, it's a good film, but a great Disney film. Not as good as their heyday, but still, the fact that they're going back to this route is just wow. So, I'll summarize. So I'm going to do the story, but first off, I'm going to keep this pretty light on spoilers. I will talk about spoilers, but that'll be very end of the video. Hold on a second, this desk. This chair. Sorry, there was this chair distracting me. Anyway, so, what was I saying before? So yeah. Spoilers will be at the end of the video, so if you don't want this movie ruined, and trust me, there are some couple surprises in this movie which I don't want to spoil. So if you don't want this movie spoiled, then, again, you can just watch the video, and then if you've seen the movie, then you can just read the spoilers, and if not, then I'm repeating myself. So anyway, real quick, I'm going to tell you the story, which Disney has been keeping a little under the table. Which is basically, in the Kingdom of Arendelle, there's two girls, Anna, voiced by Kristen Bell, and Elsa, voiced by Idina Menzel from Wicked. And Elsa was born with these magical ice powers, which are great, but they're also really dangerous. And because of their danger, her parents thought it best to separate her from Anna, lock her up, and put the entire kingdom on lockdown. Eventually, Elsa's powers get so out of control that she throws the kingdom into eternal winter, and she runs away, and now Anna has to find and reason with her. Now, story is, again, it's a bit of a mixed bag. And I think a lot of that, part of it has to do with the pacing. This movie's almost 2 hours long, and I feel like that both works to the film's benefit and its weakness. On one end, it allows you to have more happen, it allows the characters to breathe, but at the same time, it does cause the film to drag a bit in the middle. But again, it wasn't too distracting. It was a bit distracting, but not too distracting. And first 10 minutes of this film or so, the prologue, everything up until the end of the second song, I loved. It was great. It had more emotional depth than anything in Tangled. Yeah, that's one thing you want to know. That this film does get surprisingly emotional. But, again, I'll talk about that later. like the film, it has some nice messages and it's very self-aware. Like they kind of make fun of the whole love at first sight thing, which they've done so many times in Disney films, and it's so satisfying to see them actually acknowledge it in this film. Also, there's an I really they have a message about true love, and I really like the message. Also, the story, it's a little cliche at times, but thankfully they shake, unlike Tangled, they shake things up and make it interesting, so it kind of feels like it knows that it kind of finds a new way to tell a story that's been told several times before, so it feels fresh. Like, there are moments in Tangled where, no, Frozen where I'm worried, oh no, they're going this way, this is going to be so lame and original, but cliche, but then they go somewhere unexpected. Like, they take a route that genuinely surprised me. I'm like, wow, that's really clever telling it that way. I think that's much better than some of the other Disney films. And particularly in the third act, like, the message of the film, I love the way they explain it. It kind of threw me for a curveball. But, again, it was just a really welcome. So much better than the ending to Tangled. Characters are a mixed bag. Anna, I like her, but I don't think she's the best princess, Disney princess ever. They play her. I feel like they played her a bit too much for laughs. I mean, her quirkiness. She was just quirky and energetic, which was fun, but there wasn't that. I mean, there is depth to her character, but again, I feel like most of the time she was just weird. I spent more time laughing at her than I did feeling for her. And which I've seen Disney do stronger female leads, like Tiana, who I really was invested in, although she's a workaholic and I'm a workaholic, so we kind of bond. But then there is Elsa, who is enjoyable, but she really doesn't get as much screen time as I would like. Like, the heart of the movie is the relationship between Anna and Elsa, yet they barely get any screen time together, which I understand why they did it, but I also understand why they don't did it. On one end, the whole point is they're supposed to be separated, so it makes sense. But on the other end, it's like they're the focus of the movie. We should have a lot of time together and their relationship. Which, again, it works out in the end, but again, I feel like Prince of Egypt handled the whole sibling relationship better. And we get more time with the relationship between Anna and Kristoff, which I think is handled nicely, and I don't think I'm spoiling anything when I'm saying that they are the lovers, but I feel like it's handled well. The film's very self-aware of, again, they're mostly friends, and they do love each other, but what I like about their love is it's more in what they do for each other and less about what they say to each other, which I think, again, is a really nice way to explain love, so much better than the other Disney films. And even though I wasn't too big on the characters, I did care about them. Like, when this movie wants you to really feel and get emotional over these characters, I was getting kind of emotional and really invested, even though I knew it was going to be a Disney movie, we were going to have happy ending. But there were some moments where I was legitimately scared, like, oh my gosh, is something, like, when bad stuff's going to happen to them, you're like, oh my gosh, please make it okay, please make it out okay. Although I feel like part of my emotional investment might be because, surprisingly, I saw this film at night, and most of the people in there were older kids who probably were my age and diehard Disney fans. So I feel like there's and it's kind of I just blanked out. Kind of infected me a bit. So yeah. Comic relief is okay. Olaf is amusing. Joshua Gad, I think he probably did a nice job as him. And the Moose is okay. I was worried he's a bit like Maximus, but then again, they don't play him for laughs that much. He's more there as just the silent animal companion, like Achilles from Hunchback of Notre Dame. Again, it's annoying that. Again, that is one part where Tangled was better, was that the side characters were freaking hilarious, and here the side characters are alright. But again, the fact that when the movie wanted me to care and really feel for these characters, I cared, was impressive. Like, I was happy for them at the end, whereas Princess and Tangled, I was just like, they're going this, they're doing that, whatever. But again, the film's doing its job. And there's also the Duke. There's this Duke character who's not in the movie that much. He's voiced by the guy who voices him voiced King Candy in Wreck-It Ralph. He was alright, again. A couple good laughs, but he's not really that interesting. I feel like you could have written his character out and the movie would have been fine. Now, some people will criticize this movie because there isn't a really fun, over-the-top Disney villain, and yeah, I do kind of miss that, but at the same time, I feel like there was enough conflict in this movie that you didn't need a Disney villain, a really over-the-top villain. I mean, there's enough conflict already, and it's nice to see Disney do it differently. I mean, again, they're trying to keep this story that they've done so many times fresh, and, oftentimes that means, taking a risk, and, again, it would have been nice to have an over-the-top villain, but I don't think it would have suited the story. It would have felt kind of forced. And I think the antagonists in this film do have interesting motives enough. And, okay. The presentation here was okay. It looks, at times it was nice. Like, I saw this in 3D, and there were some really nice moments where you can clearly see the depth, and there's some nice bits in the title logo where there's snowflakes, and you can almost touch them, and it's really nice, but I'm trying to think. But it doesn't blow me away the way Tangled or Wreck-It Ralph's animation did. Again, I feel like a lot of that has to do with the fact that they had a limited budget, they couldn't go all out, and there was so much they had to do, I guess they couldn't put the details in, but again, it's serviceable, it's not bad, it's just nothing amazing. And someone pointed this out, I kind of wish it was in 2D animation, because you can do so much in that. There's no limits on budget constraints, it's just however much you want to draw, but again, 2D isn't what draws people in, or so Disney thinks. 3D does, and for what they did okay. Now let's get to the part of this aspect of this movie that I absolutely loved. I was really excited for this part of the movie especially. Tangled, I thought the songs were okay. Princess and the Frog, the songs were serviceable, but again, most of them were bland and forgettable. I was really excited for Frozen because they were being done by the guys who did Book of Mormon, and I love the songs in Book of Mormon. And they did a nice job with the Winnie the Pooh songs, and here they did not disappoint. I will admit, all the songs don't really fit a winter tone. They're more Broadway and over-the-top style. But I feel like they worked really well. The really, really good songs are fucking unbelievable. The opening I loved, Do You Want to Build a Snowman I loved, and Elsa's Let It Go freaking stole the show. That song's gonna get nominated for Best Original Song, and I hope it wins. Idina Menzel just killed it. Also, I don't know if this was just me, or I swear the sound quality was different. It sounded really good and really fully orchestrated in a way that I haven't heard in previous Disney films. I don't know what they're doing differently, but if you're doing another musical, do that kind of stuff. It's a shame Disney's not doing another musical for a while. I mean, if you look at their lineup, they don't have any musicals planned, or at least the songs don't seem like the movies don't seem like they're gonna lend themselves to songs. But if we're not getting Disney songs for a while, I'm happy. These are some of the best songs I've heard from Disney in a while. Although I feel like the rest of the songs are alright, and they put all the really good songs in the first half hour, and then they're clumped in the first half hour, and then after that there's long periods of time where there's not singing and the movie does feel kind of empty, and I do wish they had spaced the songs out. But at the end of the day, the songs that I love, I really loved, and that makes the movie worth it. Now, before I wrap up, there is a short that plays before the movie, and it's enjoyable, makes good use of the 3D, not an amazing short, but I did enjoy it, made me smile, got me warmed up for the movie, and they made a really nice use of the ownership of the Marvel property. So again, overall, really enjoyed this film, definitely should go check it out. 3D is noticeable, so go see it in 3D. Again, it has its problems, but again, it's hard to create a good Disney movie and keep the story fresh. But for what they did, I think they did a really nice job. If you're a Disney fan, you're going to have a lot of fun with this. I mean, there is problems. I mean, this isn't like Lion King standards, but again, so far Disney's been doing a really nice job with their films, and I hope they continue it next year with Big Hero 6. Definitely the best. This is definitely in the running for best animated film. Definitely the best animated film I've seen this year. Even the ones I haven't seen, I doubt they're going to be as good. I mean, Wind Rises is probably going to win, but if Monsters University wins over Frozen, I'm going to be pissed off. But yeah, go check this movie out. It's a lot of fun, especially if you're a Disney fan. And that's all I have to say. So now I'm going to get into spoilers. So if you haven't seen Frozen, then stop watching right now because I'm going to spoil some stuff. First off, the villain. When I saw Hans, I thought, oh, let me guess, he's the villain. Like, on the posters, I figured, Elsa's not the villain, and there's probably going to be a villain in the Disney movie. He's way too nice. They're probably going to pull lots on him. It did, but I kind of forgot about it. And everyone in the theater gasped when when Hans was revealed as the villain. And everyone complained there was an over-the-top villain, but seriously, I mean, the fact that they pretty much just pull a big shocker of a villain was good, and I feel like he had really good motivations. Also, I love how the true love thing is sister love, not man-woman love. Like, when they said true love will break the spell, like, oh, really, you're doing this again? Like, they say true love, and you assume it's Kristoff and Anna, because, you know, that's what it is in past movies. Like, really, we're really going here again? And when Anna gets frozen, I'm like, let me guess, Kristoff is going to kiss her, and she's going to come back to life. But no, it's Elsa's tears that bring her back. And, you know, I was, like, groaning. I thought they were going to go with cheesy Kristoff kisses her. But no, it's sister love, and I love that. I love how the movie's saying that love isn't just between man and woman. It's family love, and I love Disney for teaching that. I was so happy when that scene came. So again, overall, I really enjoyed this movie. Definitely check it out. Check out my full review in the description. And yeah, that's all I have to say at this point. This is JStars360, and if you like 90s Disney movies, do yourself a favor and go see Frozen. This movie's awesome. It's a good movie, but a great Disney film. See you guys in the next video.